we tend to think of Leonard Bernstein as a classical composer. But like Duke Ellington and George Gershwin, he had a pretty strong background in popular music as well. And indeed, his most famous work is a musical. We can hardly call it a musical comedy because it's a tragedy. West Side Story. It's an update of the old Montagues and Capulets from Romeo and Juliet. He actually goes pretty fast. Almost said the Romulans. The overture, with an initial confrontation between the Sharks, the Puerto Rican gang. But they're Americans too, right? And the Jets, which are kind of a Mongol mixed European American. This overture is one of those foreshadowing overtures. Later, although we heard it earlier, zooming by, was that overture to Jesus Christ Superstar. It's the same kind of thing, foreshadowing, where in Jesus Christ Superstar, the overture foreshadowed the trial before Pilate. This overture foreshadows the rumble, the confrontation. It features a strong use of the tritone. Da-da. And there's also kind of a counter melody in the overture. Ba-doo-ba-da, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba, ba-doo-ba. Oh, and it's swing. He's certainly influenced by big band jazz. By the time this happened, there's also bebop, and there are some bebop ensembles that are like large jazz bands. And even cool jazz had come around, and then it will be our featured piece eventually. But anyway, this counter melody. We'll find that coming back too. The use of the tritone is also very important in the main love song of the piece, Maria. And that is do, fi, sol, do, fi, sol, la, fi, sol, la, fi, sol. And we're going to get to our featured piece, but just a little bit on I Like to Be in America, okay for me in America, a song that the Sharks sing. The women are for America, meaning the contiguous English-speaking states, and the guys, not so sure. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. It's a 6/8, 3/4 dichotomy. Both 6/8 and 3/4 have 6/8 notes, but in 6/8 usually grouped 2 groups of 3, right? And with 3/4 you get 3 groups of 2. And we heard Joaquin Rodrigo exploit that. And that even goes back to the Baroque. It's called Hemiola. And I failed to mention that even in the Bach Brandenburg Concerto No. 1, you actually have aspects of that. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 3 groups of 4 16th notes across 2 bars, opening of America. What a name, right? It is hardly my country, 'tis of thee, America the beautiful, kind of stuff. Has some other interesting positives. Okay, our featured piece is cool. This is another characteristic of American musicals that you find in, you don't, well, yeah, maybe you do find it in opera a little bit. We're less aware of it these days. In old number opera, sometimes different performances, this is true of oratorios too, Handel, different performance situations, you change around. So that there's actually an aria in Messiah that was originally written for a male singer, and it's now done for a female singer, or vice versa. So order sometimes changes. Number of pieces. This is very typical of when musicals now are translated from stage into a movie. And we're looking at the movie from West Side Story. And in the movie, the song Cool takes place after the rumble, which I think is totally appropriate. In the original stage drum, it's before. The stakes are not as high. There's not as much tension there. So I think this works. And notice Maria, and now we have a theme. Boy, boy, crazy boy. It's the same tritone. Do, do, fi, so, fi, do, fi, so, fi, do, fi, so. Main melody. A couple of verses, and then the dance interior. French operatic people would be proud. That tradition goes back to early days of opera in France as opposed to Italy. Got to have the dance. And in this dance we have a 12-note fugue. Da 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 da. That's 4 notes. Da 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 da. That's 8. Da da da. 9, 10. Da da. 11, 12. Counter subject coming in. Amongst the cool jazz instruments, use of low flute, use of clean electric guitar, vibraphone. Keep cool, boy. So that last bit that I sang is the counter subject against more statements of the subject. We have flutter tongue, sometimes muted, both those techniques in the brass. And yes, of course, gang members maybe in the 1950s, 60s did not dance like this, but choreography by Jerome Robbins is rather wonderful. So let's check it out.